Hi YouTube, Andy again, back here with another tool video. Hope you guys like these. Please, at the end of the video, like, subscribe, maybe share it with another person if this helps you. So what we're talking about today are hole saws. I'm sure many of you guys and gals probably have worked with these in the past, and we'll kind of talk about some stuff about them, and I have a special prize at the end, toward the end of the video. I'm going to show you some new tools beyond what we have here. We're actually going to go over a newer set of tools with these here. So with that, let's jump right in. So we have the standard hole saw. This is something you get from Milwaukee. I'm not sponsored at all by Milwaukee. Not sponsored at all, in fact. But these are the ones I happen to have. There's Lennox, there's probably DeWalt has some, there's a number of manufacturers. I just happen to have Milwaukee. This one has a feature with these pins that come out, and that helps prevent getting the hole saw itself stuck on the Arbor, which actually, this is the second attempt at this video. The first one, I got this hole saw here stuck on here. You can actually see where it, somehow it got stuck. I think these pins got into the paint. And so it gets stuck. That happens with these. I can't edit the video, so I just stopped it and started over. I'm not hiding anything. I just wanted to say, yeah, these do that. But so the first thing, when you're working with these hole saws, you're oftentimes going to encounter a situation where you have, let's say, this size hole in a piece of material, and then you want to go to this size hole. There's a couple ways to do that. You can take a piece of wood and put it over the original hole. You have to center it up. It's not easy. And then put your new hole saw in there. Center up your pilot with the original hole or somewhere close to it. Drill your hole. And then that gives you the bigger size. An easier way to do it is to go ahead, put your end hole size on your Arbor. You put it on there. And then you take your original hole saw, put it on the Arbor also, like so. There's just enough threads to put a second hole saw on there. Just like that. So now you use the original. You can see how that, you don't have a lot, but there's just enough to use this original hole saw size as the Arbor so that you can use this hole saw as your final size, and this helps you keep you centered. This will help keep you centered. You can also use another piece of material, to start out. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I'll usually just use this as my pilot. You don't even need the pilot drill at all. You can take this out if you wanted. Something else I've run into in using these is sometimes that length of that pilot bit is too short. So that's where these come in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we got this in here. You see the length of the pilot bit there. These are made by a company called Spyder. S-P-Y-D-E-R. S-P-Y, D as in David, E-R. They're the Spyder rapid core eject pilot bit, and they come in two different types. There's the tungsten carbide, and there's a high-speed steel version. So you can see this one, the one on the left here, is obviously tungsten. It's for masonry, and this one would be for metals and wood. And I like these because you can do this. It's got a button. It's got a bearing in there that references this machine section here. So you put this on there, let it lock itself in there, and then you take your hole saw and put it on there. But you can see the difference here in the length of the pilots. So if you're in a piece of material and you need this, I've encountered the situations where this pilot's too short. And that's why I've gotten these. And these work great. I actually have the website pulled up over here. I'll show you. I believe I got these at Menards. So here they are. Spyder rapid core eject pilot bit. And of course, the bit they're showing you is the tungsten carbide. This one here. But there's two of them. $8. Nothing too expensive about this stuff. But you know, when you're doing work, every little bit helps, as you very well know. And now let's talk about extensions. There's a number of situations I've gotten into where, you know, your drill is going to be here. You don't have a lot of length here to get, so you need to get into a recessed area. So now you have something like this. That's exactly what this is. This is a hole saw extension. As you can see, it's probably 13, 14 inches long. So you would take your hole saw. There's actually a set screw on here, right here. You loosen this. The set screw goes into this machine portion, and then this end goes into the drill. And then you have this length. You got about a 14-inch extension here. And I think there's shorter ones also of this. Well, as promised, I told you I'd have another cool tool for you. And that's just what we're going to look at. Here it is. This product's called the Javelin. And I got this through the Racketeers website. So the idea of this this system is that you can use all thread or a continuously threaded rod. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this would be an example of a piece of all thread. This is 3/8/16 material. This actually came with this kit, but you could use any 3/8/16 all thread. And so you could cut a 10-foot stick if you wanted to. And it has adapters so that you can adapt this to your drill. So let me take it out of here. And here's some information that comes with it. As you can see, it's 3/8/16 threaded hole saw Arbor and 1/4-inch hex Arbor extension kit. So let me show you the pieces that you get. So here's one of the Arbors. As you can see, it's very similar to, this is the one I just took out of my Milwaukee kit. They're very similar. In fact, the Arbor drill is actually a little bit shorter, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. You could actually use this with this kit. It doesn't matter. But this kit, if you're going to use it as an extension, here's the advantage: is the Arbor is drilled and tapped to receive a 3/8/16 piece of all thread. Now the length of this all thread could be represented by this length, but you could use any length you wanted. In fact, they also give you a short piece. Just this, I believe this is the shortest piece that you could use. So you can use that, and then it comes with two other pieces. So this one here, this would go into the other end of your all thread, like this. And now you have an extension, just like we talked about. Now we need to use this one here. So there you have it. So you have an extension of whatever length of all thread that you use. And that's, like we were talking about, that's made possible by this and the fact that the Arbor is tapped and threaded, or it's drilled and tapped for this 3/8/16 thread. And then of course you tighten up your jam nuts here, bring those up tight, tighten them down, and then you have a really nice extension. The other side of this, so I left this is the part that would go in the drill. I left that on there. You just bring those down snug. Now if you're using this, of course, you use a couple of wrenches and you jam that on there nice and tight so this doesn't come loose when you're operating it. But this piece here is the 1/4-inch hex Arbor extension kit. And as you can see, it's got a hex, and that's 4 hex bits. Let me get a hex bit here. So let's say you had, your typical Phillips hex bit. You would put this in here, loosen up your set screw. It comes with an Allen key. Oops. So you'd put it in here about, you know, whatever depth you wanted. Tighten this guy down. There you have it. And then this, you would tighten on to here. Now I have a Phillips that I can put on this extension and use my drill on it. Now, the intention here, you don't necessarily have to use this with a hex bit. It could be a drill bit. Many drill bits have hex bases on them. And that's more the intention here, is if you needed more length to get that bit in somewhere, if the hole you need to drill is recessed, you can put that hex bit in here, tighten it down just like I did this bit, and then you have a drill bit on there instead of a Phillips, or you could use a 5/16 nut driver on here if you wanted, or whatever. But that's the scoop with this kit here, and it's all made possible by the fact that the bases of these are drilled and tapped for 3/16, and that this piece here, this actually goes into the drill. It is also drilled and tapped for 3/16, so that you could extend this to whatever length you wanted. And of course, it comes with the hex key. A couple pieces of all thread. It comes with these two. And I had these nuts were in the kit. Of course, all these adapters. Let me move some of the stuff out of the way so we can actually see what came with that kit. So that kit included these pieces here. I'm going to take this bit out. Included all of this, in case you were wondering. So it looks like the pieces that are in the viewfinder, that's what you get. And of course it comes with the, it's got an instruction booklet. You can read that. I'm sure there's some other information in there. But this is a great system here. I've encountered a number of opportunities where I needed an extension. And in the past, I've used these, which suffice. But this particular one that I used was barely long enough. I was going through on the outside of the wall was 1.5" style siding, and I had to come into a room, and it was framed out. I believe it had 2x6 walls on the inside, and then there was a cabinet inside there that was framed to the wall, and I was installing some receptacles. And I was also running some communication cable, and the hole I had to drill, this was just barely long enough to get me through the 1.5" siding, the 2x6 wall, and to be able to access and get into where my cable was coming through the wall. So it would have been nice if I'd had this system. I could have cut a 2-foot piece of all thread and had more than enough room, and I could have used this and, you know, no problem. So that's the Javelin. Javelin 3/8/16 threaded hole saw and 1/4" hex Arbor extension. That's this system. And then the previous system we talked about was that Spyder. That comes with these. So these are separate as the Arbors. And then I believe when I purchased this, I bought this with one of these, and then I bought the other, like the tungsten bits, separate, just so I had both of them, because sometimes I do go into masonry for electrical equipment. And, you know, this is not electrical, you know, if you're a plumber or if you're a mechanical guy installing HVAC equipment, there's always a need to drill a hole, or if you're DIYer putting something in for whatever reason. These are all great systems. If you need to, you know, if you need a longer pilot bit coming out of the end of the hole saw, or if you just need to get yourself into a, you know, need a longer extension. These are both really great systems to use in conjunction with the hole saw kit itself. That's all I have for you guys. Hole saws. So, like I said, like, subscribe. Please leave comments. If you like these videos, we can do some more. I definitely have plenty of tools we could talk about, many of which you guys have probably seen before, and perhaps many of which you've never seen before. So please like and subscribe, and definitely comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.